12. The happy man has 1,000 wishes, the sad man has one. This is a little bit more of a heartfelt one for me because when I was younger, I was definitely angrier, probably darker in general. And a lot of that came because I had expectations that were fictitious, real or otherwise, from other people in my mind that existed who were constantly judging the behaviors and actions I was doing every day and were telling me that I was not enough. In some ways, that created and reinforced behaviors that I still continue to this day in terms of the actions I take, but the way that I feel and think about them has shifted. When you are sad, you want to not be sad. That's the main focus. You want to feel better. And many times people will take the short-term way of getting out of that, which is alcohol, drugs, etc., because in the moment they can feel better. Everyone just wants to feel better. And so when I think about things that I used to think people were wronging me, right? And I would get all angry and I'd spit myself out. I use a different frame now, which is they just wanted to feel better. Do you think it had nothing to do with me and they just wanted to feel better about themselves? And that's given me a lot of peace about many of the things that used to anger me. Being able to quiet the hundreds of non-existent voices in my head that were constantly judging the activities that I was doing and labeling them good or bad or good enough or not good enough, etc., took up a tremendous amount of my attention. And because of that, all of my focus was on feeling better. And so I couldn't actually have any energy left over to do stuff because all I was focused on was feeling better. And all I was spending all my day was in my head trying to not feel like shit and doing both short and long-term things to do that. And so it was only when I came up with the mantra, which I have said before, but fuck happiness, which sounds ironic because I said the person who's happy has 1,000 wishes. But in choosing not to admit the deficiency between my current state and the future state of what I desire to be, I was able to accept where I was. And then the deficiency of not being good enough, not being happy enough, disintegrated in my mind. And then I was able to focus on just doing things. And then when I started doing things, I started making progress. When I started making progress, I started looking back and feeling proud of how far I'd come. Because it wasn't about the many voices outside, it was about the only one that mattered. And so that shift is what I think genuinely from a spiritual standpoint is the thing that was able to give me the strength to do some of the things we have done. But I wouldn't have been able to ever start on this path because I was paralyzed about what I thought other people were going to think about me, only to realize that they weren't thinking about me at all.